Currently, rumors are flying thick and fast that India targeted Pakistan's nuclear complex at Kirana Hills, heavily damaging it and even causing a nuclear explosion, forcing people in the area to leave. Rumors are there on the social media, they are there on mainstream media also. Is that true? What is the truth in this? Is that just a conspiracy theory? Now, there are other questions also. Can a missile attack, even if that is a supersonic missile attack, trigger a nuclear explosion? Can it at least damage the nuclear weapons and cause radioactive leakage, causing harm to humans and other living beings in the area? Then, what was the message that India wanted to convey by attacking a nuclear facility of Pakistan? Was India able to, destroy the bunkers where the nuclear weapons were kept? These are all serious questions that merit answers. Let's take a closer look into the whole issue. Welcome to Insights. I am Hari Kumar. It was during the Operation Sindoor, to be precise, during the second phase of the Operation Sindoor, which was launched to avenge the terrorist attack at Pahalgam in Kashmir, in which 26 innocent tourists were killed, that the supposedly or purported nuclear facility at Kirana Hills got damaged. In the second phase of Operation Sindoor, India targeted all the important airfields of Pakistan, including some of the military facilities. At the first stage, India's attack was confined to terrorist camps, especially the headquarters of Jaish-e-Mohammed at Bahawalpur and the headquarters of Lashkar-e-Taiba at Mudirka. But during the second phase, India attacked military facilities, though not military camps even then. Now, it was during such an attack that Kirana Hills nuclear weapon storage got damaged. That was the news or rumor. The government of India, the spokespersons of Indian military, outrightly rejected that news. They said, they even sarcastically said, thanked journalists who raised the question, saying that thanks for bringing to our attention that Pakistan has got a nuclear storage facility at Kirana Hills. So India denied such a possibility, even knowing about it. But that may be, cleverly worded. Everybody knows that Pakistan has got nuclear facilities, nuclear storage or bunkers at, Masroor Air Base at Karachi, then Sargoda Air Base, then Bolari Air Base at Sindh, then in Balochistan also. So this raises a very serious question. Indian missile was able to, penetrate the building or, bunkers where I don't know whether nuclear weapons were kept there, but the military facility and heavily guarded bunkers there at Kirana Hills could be breached easily. They were devastated. That is true because satellite pictures and other photos available on the public domain point to that. So this is the truth. This is the a reality. Now this actually I will start answering from the last question. What was the message that India wanted to convey to the world? India wanted to convey the message that no place in Pakistan, not even their nuclear storage facilities, are safe. This is, I presume, that it was the message that India wanted to convey to the whole world. And India had very clearly conveyed that. Now, the destruction, the scale of destruction at Kirana Hills proved that no place in Pakistan is safe. So that was the message. it also raises serious doubts about Pakistan's capabilities to safeguard their own nuclear weapons. If India can easily attack, if India can breach their air defense systems, even at the nuclear storage facilities, India can do whatever it wants inside Pakistan, deep inside Pakistan, at any place. So India made that very clear to Pakistan. It is, I think, the rise of a new war doctrine of India. So here is a new India. India has made it very clear that India is not a peacenik anymore. This is not a stoic nation as it used to be once, where India's retaliations were always less than Pakistan aggression. So India could suffer meekly suffer damage. That was the past experience. For example, you look at the Mumbai terror attack or the parliament attack. Both those occasions, India didn't retaliate very strongly. Even during the Mumbai attacks, it was an attack. You need to remember that that was an attack at the financial headquarters of India. Several innocent citizens were killed, but India chose not to attack, not to retaliate. It was just preaching or simply protesting, verbal protest. That didn't yield any result. But the modern India is not the same country as it used to be. So that was the message. India has made it very clear that nuclear bogey won't sell with India. Pakistan can raise any amount of threat, but India wants real action. Reality versus threat. India never raised any such threat, but it just acted. So this is actually a warning to many nations also. China also needs to understand that, or even the US needs to understand that they cannot just instigate Pakistan to attack India and expect that India will not retaliate. That is not going to happen. Absolutely, you never think like that. That is going to invite a catastrophe. So that was the message. Now let me answer the other few questions. Is it possible for a missile attack on a nuclear complex to detonate a nuclear weapon? According to the information available on net and the articles published by various nuclear scientists, that is simply impossible. Because a nuclear weapon will detonate only after a sequence of electronic commands. Then there is going to be a sequence of detonation codes. Only if all those work simultaneously, a nuclear weapon is going to detonate. So a nuclear explosion can be safely ruled out. A missile attack, even if the missile is BrahMos, a supersonic missile, even if India uses thermobaric weapons, that is the weapons that generate huge heat like 3000 or 4000 degrees Celsius, it cannot detonate a nuclear weapon. A nuclear bomb won't be detonated by that. It will detonate only after a sequence of electronic commands. So that has not happened. But at the same time, it can lead to the severe damage to the infrastructure, structural damage to the weapon. Then it can also cause radioactive leakage. That's the truth. So it almost works like a dirty bomb. So this is where the problem lies. So if that there is heavy structural damage to the nuclear weapon, it is going to cause radioactive leakage, and that is going to definitely harm all living beings in the area, and maybe even it can make the place uninhabitable for some time also. I don't know about more about that, but that can definitely happen. So I think the because of the rumors, like some of the reports say many satellite there are many pictures where which clearly show that US aircrafts are landed have landed at the site. Then some reports say Egyptian aircrafts carrying boron. Boron is an element that can minimize the effects of radioactive leakage. So such aircrafts are seen there. If that is true, I think definitely radioactive leakage had happened, and Indian attack might have caused some structural damage to the nuclear weapons stored at Kirana Hills. That could be true. So I think this is the message. So it has become very clear that nuclear weapons in Pakistan are not safe. Now it's not just the attack of India. As I said earlier, Pakistan has got a nuclear weapons complex in Balochistan. At present, the Balochistan Liberation Army has even declared independence of Balochistan. The capital of Balochistan, Quetta, is under the control of Balochistan Liberation Army. So there is every chance that the nuclear facility of at Balochistan will fall into the hands of Balochistan Liberation Army. And the same can happen at many other places. Suppose just think about a nuclear complex, weapons complex of Pakistan falling into the hands of, Al Qaeda or Tehrik-i-Taliban. It can very well happen. If India is able to, conduct an air attack without any problem at Kirana Hills, I think other possibilities are also can happen, and this is a very dangerous situation for Pakistan. Any moment Pakistan's nuclear weapons will fall into the hands of separatists, into the hands of terrorists. The country which is responsible for nuclearizing Pakistan, that is the United States, need to worry. They need to do something. They need to convince Pakistan even to hand over their nuclear weapons to some international body or even to the United States. I think Pakistan as a nation doesn't have the capability. Simply possessing a few nuclear warheads, that doesn't mean the Pakistan has the ability to put those weapons in those places in India where they want. Remember that India has foiled all the missile attacks and drone attacks on different cities. Indian air defense, Indian missile defense systems are robust, and they have been able to completely foil the Pakistan attack. So if a Pakistan missile or an aircraft takes off with nuclear weapons, India has the ability to detonate them or destroy them at the Pakistan airspace itself. So Pakistan is going to get damaged in many ways. I hope the Pakistan political leadership will realize the gravity of the situation. Unless you have got the proper launch vehicles, unless you have got a solid, missile defense system, unless you have supersonic missiles or, faultless missiles, then only nuclear weapons are going to help your cause. I think nuclear weapons no longer serve the cause of Pakistan. Hope the US and China will convince Pakistan about it, and you will see a new war doctrine in Pakistan in the coming days. Meet you with other updates. Till then, goodbye.